This is Lady Justice, and she represents our court system. Her blindfold means that she's unbiased and she doesn't judge on appearances alone. And the scales are there to weigh the facts and the evidence. And the sword, well, we know what the sword's for. The sword's for punishment. Lady Justice should really take off her blindfold and look around, because there are several people that are in jail within the system who are lost. Meet Jennifer Ruth. She's one of the lost people I'm speaking about. This is her lawyer. Her lawyer knew what was going on, but decided to save his own skin and keep quiet. And this is a judge who's just not paying attention or listening. This whole judicial fiasco began because Jennifer missed a court date. And to court people, missing a court date is like a sin.
This is in the District
Here's what
Court
happened.
of Butler County, Kansas, case entitled State of Kansas versus Jennifer Darlene Ruth. Amber Norris appears for the state of Kansas. James Watts, as defense counsel of record. The defendant is not present on this meeting, where its docket notes indicate this matter last came before the court on September the 14th. At that time, a not guilty plea was entered. A plea hearing was set for today. Apparently, every expectation was she'd be entering a plea today. Case was not placed on a jury trial docket, rather set today at 9:00 a.m. The defendant was ordered to be at the Sallyport Zoom location at the Judicial Center or Mr. Watts' office. She doesn't appear to be in either place, Mr. Watts. Can you explain?
I cannot, Your Honor. Ms. Ruth was in my office yesterday morning. I had a 9:00. She arrived here about 8:50, 8:48 or so. And we had a brief conversation about what she wanted to do. I have thought for some time, and I've shared with Ms. Norris, that I think there's more to this story and more to this case than meets the eye. I'm thinking more and more it appears that there are some mental health issues with Ms. Ruth. And I don't know what they are. I don't know what's going on. But she is obviously not here. I said she was here yesterday, so I expect her to be here. But she's obviously not here.
Well, thank you, Mr. Watts. I noticed that we're 8 minutes past our scheduled start time. I would have expected her to have called someone by now if there was some legitimate reason that she was running behind. The court considers this to be a default on a mandatory court appearance. Because of this failure to appear, the court orders bond forfeiture, a bench warrant issue for her arrest, with Jennifer Ruth to be held on a no bond hold pending further proceedings before this court. Mr. Watts, is there anything else we need to address currently?
I don't believe so, Your Honor.
Ms. Norris?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Nothing further then. The Ruth matter will be in recess at this.
6 months later.
Just by luck, Jennifer Ruth was accidentally brought before this judge, who then finally gets her on the right track. Otherwise, should have been lost even longer.
All right. Are you Jennifer Darlene Routh?
Ruth. Yes, ma'am.
Ruth. Okay. It looks like you were picked up on a bond forfeiture bench warrant in Butler County District Court case number 23CR348. It appears that you were scheduled for a plea in front of Judge.
See, I didn't know anything about any of that.
Judge Ricky. Well, it says that on 9/14 you appeared by Zoom with Mr. Watts. No jury trial. Set out to October 24th at 9 a.m. for a plea. You were at the Sallyport, or you were to be at the Sallyport or Mr. Watts's office for the next hearing. You continued on bond, and then you failed to appear.
Because I was here. They picked me up on it. I had a warrant through the city that I didn't have any clue about. I was picked up on the 23rd and I was here, and I told them that I had court on the 24th, and they said they would help me make it there, and I never made it because I was sitting in here on a warrant through this city that I didn't know existed either. Because when I got released, I was given one court date, and you can't be at city and county court at the same time. So I thought the city matter had been dropped. It was
Okay.
that
Well,
was
what, Mr. Watts? Why didn't you send some kind of note to Mr. Watts?
I don't want him as my attorney anymore. I would go in his office and there was literally 8 different post-its to call me back in a week's time frame. He would not talk to me, but my boyfriend could call up there and he would talk to him. Or my boyfriend could come in with me, and my boyfriend went to court with me every single time.
No. All I'm
But
talking about is why, if you would have let him know that you were in jail.
He knew I was here and he said, it's not the court's problem that you got picked up on something else. I said, but you are my attorney. I'm letting you know that I will not be, because I had just left his office. I literally had just left his office when I got picked up on County Road where I live. He knew I was in here, so I would like a different attorney if possible. If this is going to be continued from here on, I would like to submit for a different attorney. He knew everything. I was so upfront and honest with him because I just wanted this done. I didn't even want it to go to trial. I just wanted to take the charge.
Okay, well, I don't know why it's taken you so long to get back in front of the court, but you have to go back to your assigned judge to ask for a new attorney and to get this plea situation resolved or your case
I just
set
want to take
for
the charge.
guilty trial.
I'll just take the charge. That's what I told him from the beginning. I didn't even want to do any of this. I just want this done so I can be out of this town and away from all of this. And because I have started a new, in Texas. I live in Texas now. It's great. I don't know any of these people. I don't have any contact with my family. My life has gotten so much better since I have left here. So I just want this done. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be emotional, but yeah.
All right, well, let's get you in front of Judge Ricky as soon as I can.
Okay.
Let me see if he's got a sooner date that I could put you on and you could visit with him. Do you know who's doing first appearances Friday? Usually it's written down on my calendar. It looks like he's Wednesday.
I think it's us, Judge, on Friday.
Yeah, you're right. We are. I'm sorry. Yes, we are. So then he doesn't have a docket week until the week of April 8th.
If you want me to run next door, I can real quick.
No, let's just set it back over for appearance in front of him on Wednesday, the 27th at 1:30.
Thank you.
He's doing first appearances, right?
As far as I know, yes.
Okay. You might let Cheryl with Mr. Watts's office know that she's going to reappear in front of Judge Ricky, her assigned judge, on Wednesday at 1:30.
Okay.
So he will either give you a later court date or set a special setting for a plea or whatever he wants to do, or consider your bond request based on your situation. But right now, all I have in front of me is your file and a no bond hold. And the only date that I would possibly have to even give you is a May date. So I'll get you in front of him on Wednesday and you can explain to him what all's happened and see what he wants to do. Okay?
Yes, ma'am. I appreciate it. Thank you. Sorry, I didn't mean to get emotional.
Okay, that's okay. I just can't do anything with your case except get you back in front of the original judge. Thank you.
Thank you.
2 days later.
And Your Honor, I do have some information on the Ruth case, which should be up next.
Okay. Certainly give you that opportunity to share it.
Thank you.
Jennifer Ruth,
Yes, sir.
this is State of Kansas versus Jennifer Darlene Ruth, case number 2023 CR 348. Ms. Ruth appears from the jail Zoom location. Mr. Canfield for the state. Mr. Canfield, you have some information that you need to share regarding this particular matter?
Yes, Your Honor, this case was on for first appearances this past Monday, the 25th, before Judge Satterfield. It was set over to today because you are the presiding judge in this case. The defendant had requested that the no bond hold be lifted, and Judge Satterfield did not want to lift that no bond hold. So it was placed on today's docket so that you could address that matter.
I didn't ask for any of that. I just said I wanted this over with.
Right, if Ms. Ruth, if you were addressing the court, I didn't hear what you said.
That's fine. I
Okay.
just would like this over with. I already said I would cop to the plea. I would take the charge, even if it's the GTA charge. I'll take it out all night. I just want this over with. And I do not want to deal with Mr. Watts whatsoever.
Why is that?
I do not care for the man. I do not know. I wanted to waive this
If you get a chance to talk to a judge, you need to speak precisely. Right now, this judge has no idea that this lawyer did not represent her properly.
whole thing from the very gate and said that, yeah, if the kid said He's the one that let me borrow it. If he said I took it, he took whatever. That's a whole nother matter. I just want this over with. I have moved away from here because of all of this and to dealing with my family. Because while I've been in here, I've
Here she goes. She needs to just stop, but she doesn't.
lost my license. I can't do anything now because of all of this bullshit from this town and from my mom and my brother. You've dealt with my brother a ton, and I am nothing like my family. So I have moved to Texas. I have started a whole different life there using my same name and everything. I have a whole community of people. I'm trying to get this job at this animal sanctuary. I just want this closed so I can be away from here.
All right, this is a first appearance docket. You're not going to be entering any type of plea today. What I do need to address at this
That's my whole point, is when I did enter a plea.
Okay, just a minute, just let me talk for a second.
Yeah.
Okay? What we're here to address first is your dissatisfaction with your attorney, Mr. Watts, who happens to be on this meeting. I don't know, it was to address this, Mr. Watts, or for some other reason. Jim, can you? Were you here on this case or something else?
No, I was asked to be here on this case.
Okay. All right. Ms. Ruth, I just needed to determine that there's some justifiable cause for you wanting to get a new attorney. Mr. Watts is one of the most experienced.
I have gone in, I have left him numerous messages. I will go into his office to physically speak with him, and there was nine message receipts on his desk. But my boyfriend can call him, who had nothing to do with this and who put me in here in the first place. He's the whole one that set this up anyway. This is what I'm saying. I wanted away from this whole group of people. Yet all you did was pigeonhole me with this SOB, and now I'm stuck with him. But I'm making it work 6 hours away so I can be away from people like my family. I'm still trying to make it work.
All right, Ms. Ruth, I haven't done anything to you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to. I don't want to wait the trial. I just want to cop the plea to the charge, and I want to take it my time and be done.
Mr. Watts, do you have anything you want to say in response?
Your Honor, my last contact with Ms. Routh was in October of last year. We discussed the possibility of a plea. In fact, if I remember correctly, we had arranged to amend this case to a temporary deprivation case and resolve it in that way. She did not appear on the 24th.
Because I was in here. I got arrested later that day on a failure to appear that I didn't know existed because I missed a court date that you didn't tell me I had for city. I had been in your office 3 times, and I had been in court twice with Mr. Ricky, and did not know that I was already sitting on an open warrant through the city because I had missed a court date I had missed 2 court dates through them and did not know about it. And I had tried to call your office numerous times, brought your receptionist coffee even, trying to get this matter resolved through you to figure out the exact date I missed so that all of this could be resolved, because I had the whole GTA thing taken care of myself anyways, because it was a complete misunderstanding. The kid just copped an attitude because he was supposed to be at school, and I got his little butt in trouble because I borrowed his truck that day. I didn't even know he was supposed to be in school.
Okay, well, we're hearing a lot more than we really need to at this juncture. Mr. Watts, anything else regarding her request for new counsel?
Sorry.
Your Honor, I have no problem with getting new counsel.
Very well. I'm going to go ahead and relieve Mr. Watts of further responsibility in this case. A new attorney will need to be appointed. I'm going to appoint Richard Paz, her new attorney.
I just gonna say what it needs to communicate.
And I'm going to set a new court date for her, and I'm going to set it quickly.
Thank you, sir. Actually, can I just keep Mr. Watts and get this over with, because I want to go back to Texas. I don't want to go back and forth.
No. Right, April 8 at 2:30 p.m. And I'm hoping Mr. Paul will be available to represent you and appear at that time, Ms. Ruth. Your no bond hold is due to your own failure to appear in court when you were ordered to do so, Ms. Ruth.
I didn't know about those court appearances, and one of those is because I was in here, and the moment I got arrested, which was 14 hours before I was supposed to appear at court, I told them that I had court on the 24th. The other 2 court dates I did not know about because I'm not getting.
Okay, wait a minute. Slow down.
It's
Let me
fine.
tell you what my docket notes show.
Mhm,
If you were before this court
mhm,
on September the 14th, at that hearing with you there,
mhm.
I set your next hearing for October 24th at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Right, and I got
When it
arrested
came
the
around,
23rd.
you failed to appear.
I was sitting here, I got arrested on the 23rd on a different matter through the city that said I had already missed this court date. That's what I'm saying. The failure to appear does not add up. And I know the system was down, so I was trying not to complain about it. I was in here, I got arrested on the 23rd, right after I left Mr. Watts's office and spoke to him about it and told him I would be at court. If that was on a Monday, I got arrested at like 12 o'clock. I was in his office at like 10 o'clock. We'd had a good meeting that morning too.
And I will note, Your Honor, we did have a meeting on the 23rd. I expected her on the 24th. She failed to appear.
Hold up, just stop right there. He knew she was in jail on the 24th. She sent word to him. He knew. He knew she was in jail.
If
Right,
He's
she
right.
lying
was
right now.
Ma'am, if she was arrested on a city matter, that
Mhm.
of course is something this court has no contact with, no control over, and no knowledge of. I'm not aware of her city warrants, if she had any. I'm not assigned to her city warrants. Those have nothing to do with us. I
Then my
don't-
apologies.
So Ms.
Actually,
Ruth, you were able to resolve your city hold and you got out of jail before
I got
the
out
jail
this
got word of the fact that you were on a no bond hold in this case and you got out? Is that right?
apparently because I didn't know anything about it. It was the thing. I was in Mr. Like I just said, we had a good morning, a good visit that morning. Everything was fine. I left his office and then like an hour later I was on a county road and was being followed. So I pulled over and they were looking for some other girl. But then all of a sudden they told me I had a city warrant that I didn't even know anything about.
Okay. Well,
The
okay.
computers were down, so I didn't complain about it. I didn't argue about it. I just said, hey, I have
I
court
guess
tomorrow.
what I'm trying to determine, Ms. Ruth, so we don't spend all afternoon on this, is
Right.
how you got out of jail if this court had put a no bond hold on you on the morning of the 24th.
I don't know. I sat here for a week and then I sat here for a week. I
shouldn't
don't
have.
know, Your
You
Honor.
shouldn't have got out. You should have been
I
back
don't
before
know.
this court, and you never made any efforts to make up the court date that you knew you missed.
I know I had called and they kept telling me the system was down, the system was down. And then with that on the other matter, it's a domestic matter. And I had seen my mom and she told me that she had dropped the whole thing.
Okay.
And
Is this,
I
I'm
have
gonna
seen,
keep the
I
no
have
bond
seen
hold order in
Charlie
effect.
Green and he said it was no big
I've
deal.
given
That's
you
what I'm saying.
the earliest court date that I could under the circumstances.
Mhm.
With some reasonable expectation that gives Mr. Paw enough time to at least visit with you.
Okay.
Kind of set you just a few days out, April the 8th, and we'll review your case on that 2:30 p.m. docket at that time. Again, Mr. Watts has been relieved. Richard Paw is appointed as new counsel.
Okay.
We'll address your felony case again at that time.
Okay. So
Okay.
no, I have to sit in here until the 8th then, is that correct?
Yes? That's what it
Okay.
means.
Okay.
Okay. If there's nothing further then, the Jennifer Ruth matter will currently be in recess and we'll move on to another matter on the docket.
Two weeks later.
Jennifer Ruth. That's Mr. Paw's case.
It is, Your Honor.
Okay, let's see who we have here. The person at the detention center Zoom location, would you identify yourself, please?
Jennifer Ruth.
Next case is State of Kansas versus Jennifer Darlene Ruth. It's case number 2023 CR 348. Defendant appears at the jail Zoom location. Chris Pate appears on behalf of Richard Paw as defense counsel. Brett Sweeney appears for the state. To review, this case was essentially set for believe pretrial matters following waiver of preliminary hearing and arraignment. Prior counsel was relieved. Mr. Paw was appointed at a proceeding on March the 27th. The matter was just simply reset to today's date, apparently for just control and scheduling purposes. I don't know what Mr. Paw's intentions are with this case. Mr. Pate, can you announce in accord with that?
Based on the conversation I had with Miss Ruth, I I think we need to get it set for trial. I didn't even realize the prelim had already been waived. I was going to ask to set it for prelim, but I think we just need a jury trial setting, and then I would ask to address the issue of bond as well.
And Your Honor, did the court say that prelim had been waived? Because I don't see that in my notes.
Prelim was waived on August the 28th of 2023. Arraignment conducted September the 14th.
Okay.
It was set for plea hearing without a jury trial setting originally. I could assign Tuesday, May the 14th.
We check Mr. Paw's calendar. He'd be available for the pre-trial on May 10th. His calendar looks pretty full the following week. Maybe could we just set it for a status on the 10th in case there's a chance of it resolving without a trial?
Yes. I'm going to set this Friday, May 10th at 10. Defendant must fully participate by audio and visual means that time. What I'll list as a pretrial conference. I encourage the parties to continue discussions working toward a possible resolution. Friday, May 10th, 10 o'clock for pretrial conference. At that time, we'll make a determination whether jury trial the following week is viable or not. Actually, based on what you've said, Mr. Pate, there's probably likely to be so much conflict on the jury trial calendar, I'm going to be looking at a resetting. It's just what I want this May 10th proceeding to be somewhat productive. But I'll just set it as pretrial conference without it being on the jury trial docket. The state need not issue subpoenas. Mr. Sweeney.
Yes, sir.
If she needs a jury trial, then we'll reset it on May the 10th with Mr. Paul participating. So the next setting in the Ruth case is Friday, May 10th at 10 by Zoom. You had something else you wanted to address, Mr. Pate?
Your Honor, if I may, the issue of bond, it appears there was a bench warrant bond forfeiture issued on October 24th. Ms. Ruth had posted a $1,500 bond, and then according to this order did not appear on October 24th. I spoke to Ms. Ruth in the breakout room, and she indicated to me that she was arrested on October 23rd and was actually being held in the Butler County Jail on October 24th when she was supposed to be in court. I have not been able to independently verify that, and I know the jail's usually pretty good about getting people on, but if what she's telling me was accurate, she was right there where she is now when she was supposed to be in court on October 24th.
Why was she picked up on October 23rd?
I think she got arrested on another matter. I was trying to keep the breakout room as brief as possible so we could keep things moving, so I didn't get all the details, but it was apparently a separate matter.
It was a failure, if I may, sorry. It was a failure to appear on a city matter, but I've talked to, that I didn't even know about. I thought it had been dropped. And I've talked to Cammie, I've seen Cammie. She has let me OR out 2 weeks ago. I saw her again last Monday, and she said that there was an OR on my bond for it. And then because I do know her, and that she knows my character is what I'm getting at. She knows my character. And then I see her Monday. I have court with her next Monday. And with the my word was good for her, is what I'm saying. I do have an OR on that bond for the city with the failure to appear that put me in here in the first place. Because I had explained to her the situation, that how it had happened and stuff. And then how I thought the matter had been dropped because when I had called, the system here was down. So I couldn't get a correct court date. And the address that the mail was sent to, I can't go there. And so I had no idea when court was that I had missed, and she understood that.
We would need confirmation from jail staff that she was indeed incarcerated at the time she was supposed to have appeared on October the 24th.
Yes, sir.
Oh, so now he's understanding what's going on.
Perhaps indeed that's what happened. But
Yes, sir.
I'm going to need confirmation from the jail.
Okay, they should have it because I got arrested the 23rd at like 11:30, 12 o'clock. I had just left Mr. Watt's office, and I did not know about the warrant for that matter at the time either, because I didn't even get pulled over or anything. I had stopped to talk to an officer, and he asked who I was and I gave him my name. And so apparently he had seen it on
Okay,
the.
we just need to verify you were in
I'm sorry.
jail on the 24th.
Sorry. I talked too much.
And bond status before that had been $1,500 surety.
Sir.
Okay. All right, I'll take the request under advisement. Mr.
Thank you,
Pate,
sir.
we'll try to get some validation of what the defendant represents from the jail staff, and then the court will make a ruling accordingly.
Okay, thank you,
And
sir.
Chris, depending on what information you find out, could you send Miss Norris an email, maybe CC me as well, just to keep me in the loop?
Okay,
Your Honor, I'm having one of my staff members go look and see when she was arrested and if she was here then.
Thank you. If you can do that now, that would be wonderful.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate your efforts to do that.
thank you.
That was very, very kind of you to go above and beyond. Thank
Okay,
you.
let's not have her put back in a cell. We may need to recall her here
Okay.
when that information is
Do you want me to go
learned.
out and say it? Do you want me to go ahead and go out and say it in the hallway?
Well, whatever the jail staff directs you to do, I just didn't.
Oh, okay,
want
sorry.
you to be too far away.
Okay.
He should be back with an answer here shortly.
Okay.
You guys are pretty great here, actually. That's really sad to say, but yeah, you have been.
She was. Your Honor, she was in custody at that time.
Okay, so she was in custody when she was supposed to have appeared on October the 24th in this court.
Yes.
Looks
She-
like, Ms. Ruth, that you were locked up quite a while on that hold.
Yes, sir, I was.
Very well. That's not the best reason in the world to miss court because you're locked up on something else and can't appear.
Totally understand, totally understand.
On the other hand, under the circumstances, I can't really find that to be a continuing default on your part. That would justify a no bond hold remaining in effect. I'm going to reinstate your prior bond
Thank you.
with your previous surety. Now, understand if that surety is insecure, they can surrender you back.
I
But for
totally
now,
understand, Your Honor.
I'm gonna set aside the existing order of no bond hold in this case, reinstate the bond in this case. And then, if you don't have any other holds on you, you'll be released today.
No. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Do you remember when you need to be back in court?
Yes, I have it and I will be here
Okay, when do you have to come back?
May 10th. And for the city matter, I have to be here
No,
Monday.
I don't care about the
Oh,
city
okay.
matter.
On here, May 10th.
Okay,
May 10th.
10 o'clock.
Yes.
I would prefer
here.
that you appear at the Judicial Center at
Okay.
their Zoom location.
Yes. Okay,
Okay.
courthouse. I'll be
Very
at the
good. Then we'll
courthouse,
see you
not here.
then.
Okay, thank you, sir. I appreciate
All
you.
right.
Jennifer, call Richard when you get out.
I sure
He'll
will.
be
Thank you,
back.
Mr. Pate.
I think he'll be back at the end of this week.
Okay, I appreciate you.
Always check your court dates and always verify what they're telling you because what they're telling you could be wrong.